It's Oilersnation Radio.
What song is this?
Oilersnation Radio.
Hold on. Are you real? You don't know that one?
Yeah.
This is the only one I've actually known. The Addams Family.
Oh. Never watched it.
Never watched it.
Not ever. None of the variations.
They've made multiple movies.
Cousin
They
It?
just made a new TV
Uncle
show.
Fester.
Wednesday
Addams.
Yeah, but that
Cousin
doesn't
It.
that doesn't seem like a show he's gonna watch, right? So he doesn't watch
I
like
can
the
see
original.
Tyler.
was Lurch?
Tyler's down
Lurch
with the
was
pop
the-
culture stuff.
Lurch is
Tyler's down
the
with the kids.
the Frankenstein. Lurch.
I can see.
Oh boy! All right, restart.
But there must have been like a cartoon or something like that.
Yeah, surely there was.
Record the episode. Let's go.
Wow. Okay. Well, I don't know where to start this podcast now. Delicious debate. Why hasn't Tyler seen anything? No.
What is your favorite TV show?
Seinfeld?
I'll allow that.
That's a great
that's
answer.
I'll allow that.
Just thought of something everyone would like.
Yeah.
I actually do straight up love Seinfeld. Seinfeld, The Office. I'm a sitcom guy. Easy watching. I like
I'll
to
get some
unplug.
sitcoms in
Yeah.
there for you.
Good
next couple
22
of
minutes in and out.
Yep.
I feel you.
I like the shows too, like Seinfeld and The Office, where I've seen them both a bunch of times at this point. You can just kind of have it on in the background. Don't necessarily have to pay attention, but you can look up and be like, oh, I know what's coming, and then have a little chuckle and then move on with your day.
Yep.
Lovely.
So my girlfriend loves The Simpsons, and there's a Simpsons Family Guy episode, but it's a Family Guy episode, and she said, "Oh, I've never seen this." And I was like, "This will not be like The Simpsons.
Yeah.
You will see a different side of Homer Simpson." And lo and behold, you sure did.
You should show her when the Jetsons meet the Flintstones. That was a great episode
Yeah.
too.
Which implies
For
that they
Tyler.
exist on the same timeline.
Same universe.
Which means there is a point when there will be poor people living on Earth and all the rich elites will go to space.
That's fair.
Didn't they go back in time or something like that? I don't remember about that.
Never seen the episode, just believe the
Believe so.
conspiracy.
I don't think there was any time traveling.
Well, then same timeline.
I, for one, am shocked that Tyler hasn't seen that episode. That was.
I
the
actually like
biggest-
his guess on what happened, though.
That was, yeah, it was pretty spot on.
For our friends at Oodle Noodle, 18 locations and counting, I would like to talk about the Oilers now, please. We've got a delicious debate coming up. We do. Again, it is Tuesday. So you're inching into your week. Come on in. Enjoy a podcast and enjoy some Oodle Noodle. Go order it. If you're in Calgary, eat something other than the garbage on your yard. Check them out. Oodle Noodlegram on Instagram, Oodle_Noodle on Twitter. Tyler, over to you.
Well, last episode, I believe we started with our early impressions of Mattias Ekholm, right? Right?
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
Okay. So
Everybody's
assuming that to be
listening?
the case, let's do our early impressions on Nick Bjugstad, our other new friend.
I'll do my very early prediction on him. What was the question? Early
Impressions of Nick
Impressions.
Bjugstad.
He was on the penalty kill and he blocked the shot and was clearly hurt. And then he went to dump the puck, but could only dump it as far as the bench. Then he had to skate to the bench, and he just really made me laugh. I was like, oh, what a terrible way to kick all this off. They didn't score on it. But overall, he's been pretty solid. 10 for 10 in a dot yesterday.
Scored a goal in his debut.
Scored a goal in his debut with Devin Score getting the assist. I think safe to say things have gone pretty well for Mr. Bjugstad so far.
I think it's a really good start so far. That dude's a big dude out there, right?
He is very big.
But you put him and Vinny next to each other, arm to arm.
Well, so
You'll cover blue line to goal line.
So yesterday, I tweeted like Ekholm, Desharnais together on the PK pairing. Massive. Bjugstad was also out there for a draw with those two back there. It's just, those are three giant individuals that cover a lot of real estate.
Yeah.
So first impression, one, Mattias Ekholm, I just love this dude more by the shift, it seems like. Steady, quiet, huge, beard's great. Moves the puck better than I expected. Bjugstad, I mean, what's not to like guy gets a goal in his first game with the Oilers? You know?
600th NHL game, too.
There you go. So passing grades. Tyler?
Yeah, I think they both actually do get passing grades.
Passing
Ekholm,
grades are like D's are a pass.
C's get degrees.
These are like
sure, then I'll give them
Okay,
both.
well then we got to do it out of 100 then.
I'll give them both more than 80% early on in their Oilers careers. Like Bjugstad, there's a couple times I noticed like some decision making that I'm like, I don't know if I love that. But he blocks shots, he wins draws. You're not relying on him for a lot. He scored a goal, now leads the Oilers in goals per 60 at 5-on-5 on this season. So like hell yeah, right? I don't know why I threw that in there. It's largely irrelevant and misleading. But Bjugstad's fine, and he'll be a good bottom six kind of depth piece for this team. And Ekholm is a game changer in my opinion, and I felt that way after his first game as an Oiler, and I still feel that way after his fourth game as an Oiler. He actually changes the way this team looks.
Did you see the quote from Brad Holland about Ekholm?
No.
It came out today. I think this only came out in the last half an hour. Is that the Oilers weren't sure if he was going to be available, and then were basically like jumping out of their seats when they heard that Nashville had accepted their offer. So,
it's understandable.
Very
Look what he's
wanted.
doing out there.
Yeah.
I just think for a guy like Bjugstad, and I think that what Tyler said is just very accurate about his game. And I think that when it comes to a transaction at the trade deadline, the hardest transition has to be a goalie. And then for me, it's forwards, because you're trying to figure out what your other two guys are doing with you. And so you got to give Bjugstad a little bit more runway. Ekholm came in and immediately made an impact because he just knows how to play defense. And so he just did the right things. And then he even, went a step further with that stretch pass and trying a few things here and there offensively that I don't think anybody expected. But yeah, I think for Bjugstad, you see him checking all the boxes that we need right away, which is the face-off dot control and the size. And then everything else will just kind of keep rolling along with it.
Agreed.
I think
Any
it's better than
concerns?
fine, though. I think it's better than fine. Bjugstad's doing everything you wanted a player in this position to do.
I had a couple people yesterday. One was complaining about Ekholm's foot speed. Like it's going to be a
Christ.
problem.
There we go.
It's going to be a problem, and the same kind of thing with Bjugstad. But I don't know. I feel like that's nitpicky. Like Ekholm, I think, is just, like I said, a legitimate high impact player in this lineup. And is his foot speed elite? No.
It's not awful though.
And he does more than enough with his reach and with his puck skills,
And
with
his
the way
brain,
he
like
uses
his
his
brain's
body.
where it's at.
Positioning.
Like everything else is still so sharp there that I just don't see his foot speed being an issue. In year 4 of this deal, yeah, sure. But guess what? We wanted Ken Holland to care about the present, not the future. So if you're going to sit here and if you spent the first 4 months of the season whining that Ken Holland's not going to do anything, like I did, then you can't sit here and complain about how year 4 of this contract will look, because it's about right now. And right now, Mattias Ekholm is really damn good and helps you win hockey games.
I think it's like what you said too. Like, this isn't a guy that's been around for 5 minutes. Like, Ekholm knows his foot speed isn't elite by any means, and that's why he's 32 years old and still playing in the league and just got
Not
acquired
everybody
by a
has to have
first-round
elite
pick.
skating.
Because he's figured out how to adjust and make himself a fantastic defenseman without doing that. He's also, 6'4"?
Why does everybody look
Pretty
for
sure
the
his
fucking
stick's
negatives
really
right away?
massive.
Because we're always going to. I think
it's-
negative.
I
Like
hate
there's
that,
just
man.
there's
Again.
but there's a negative
Cheers.
chorus that follows the positive chorus, and that's fine.
But
But
it leads the way. People go to the negative right away.
I feel like people forget sometimes that when they're doing their assessment of players that these guys aren't inhuman. They're still human beings and they still have flaws, and there's a reason that they were traded from their team, and there was a reason we wanted them. And like, it's just, there's always going to be things that players have to work on. And if Ekholm's foot speed is his detriment, okay, but all the other positives that you get from it, those outweigh that for me and for the player coming into this team. So I like, sure, you can criticize any of these guys. They're not perfect. That's why they're not untouchable. That's why they were able to be traded away from Nashville. So it's, just like you said, Rick, you can be negative about it, or you could just fucking let it be and enjoy what we have in the positive.
There's so many more positives than negatives, but everyone's like, look at this. I don't think he's this. I don't think it. Get over it, man. That's ridiculous.
To me, I see a player in Mattias Ekholm that is arguably the best defenseman the Oilers have right now.
Probably. When it based on experience and everything? Yeah, for
Experience overall, like he's not going to get the high-end offense like a Barry did, but he gets a lot done at the other end of the ice.
Sure. It's more important.
We needed that.
And that's what potentially makes him and Bouchard such a good pairing.
And they've like the early results
yin and
from
the
that
yang?
pairing.
Yeah.
Right.
When they've been on the ice together, the Oilers have outscored the opposition, I think, 6-2.
Oh.
Is that good?
Better than being outscored 6-2,
That is
Yep.
a good point.
Touche.
in my
Hang on.
opinion.
Let me check the math
obviously.
there. Yep.
Yep.
Works for me.
Bouchard's look good too.
I think the team is going to just continue to now. I mean, obviously, this is the group that they're with, so this is the gelling that's going to happen, and you've got more and more games with Bjugstad and Ekholm in that lineup. It's just going to become way more comfortable. And you saw what they did against the Leafs already. That's an elite level of a team without that time to gel and become more consistent.
This team was good before they made their trades. Now they're even better. They are the best team in the West.
The best in the West.
Not by points or.
Isn't that frustrating though? Like the Oilers are playing well, but they're just not gaining ground.
Well, it's frustrating. Like the Oilers' schedule is really tough right now, and Mike McKenna made this point on Daily Faceoff Live when it comes to a team like Nashville. Nashville's played like 8 of their last 10 against non-playoff teams. Like, oh yeah, they're racking up wins because their schedule is easier. In terms of the teams in front of Edmonton, yeah, it's frustrating when you're like, okay, the Oilers are 5-3-2. They've been average as of late, playing really hard teams, and it just happens to come at a point where Seattle, LA, and Vegas are ripping off crazy winning streaks, and it's like, it's just bad timing, if anything.
So it's a good thing there's 82 games in a season, not 60 whatever we're at right now.
Yeah, like there still is, again, 17 games to go in the regular season.
2 against Vegas, 1 against Seattle.
Yeah. To be fair, Vegas has started to beat a lot of high-end teams as well, so that's, not exactly great because their schedule will get easier too.
How would you guys line up the blue line to get maximum potential out of everybody?
I think exactly the way they're doing it now, honestly. I don't know.
6 guy?
Oh, no, I'm more of an 11-7 guy, but I do like the forward depth they have, especially if Kane's back. So 11-7, 12-6, you can flip a coin on that one for me. In terms of the pairings, I think they're fine the way they are.
I think you'll have to do that for the rest of the season, though, because you're going to try and keep everybody sharp, and that means you got to play 7 defensemen. You've got 7 defensemen, you have about 14 forwards that you have to keep fresh and ready to go by the playoffs.
I think I'm out on the Nurse and CC pairing now.
But then what do you do?
I don't know. I wrote this down, actually. Let me just go grab my paper.
Go for it.
Don't fall off your chair.
That one is one where I wrote it in the wrap-up last night that I didn't think they were terrible by any means, but they definitely need to level it up. Nurse and CC.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's unfair.
And we've seen both of them play better hockey before.
Yes, and that's the thing, is they've both played better. Last year, they were better.
Yep. So be that level.
Be that level.
All right, Liam.
He's back.
Liam's got a paper, hand-drawn notes.
Wrote these notes down yesterday because you felt they were so vital to today's show.
Did this yesterday, yeah. So this is 11-7. So my top pairing is Ekholm and Bjugstad. My second pairing is Kulak and Nurse, so flipping Nurse.
Flipping Nurse.
Flipping Nurse. Or you can flip Kulak. I mean, either one's fine. One of them are playing the wrong side. Broberg and CC and Deane is my 7th. I think the Oilers' blue line is better when they have 4 playing on the right side than the left side. When they were on that little streak there, when they were throughout the All-Star, just before from Vegas onwards, it was better on the right when they had 4 playing on the right than 4 on the left. Them's the facts.
I don't know if I love throwing someone to their offside if you don't need to, although I think with some guys it's not as big of an issue, and I think Kulak might be one of those guys who could probably handle it at an okay level, but I don't know. This is why, and I wrote about this today over at the site. You can read the article, Oilersnation.com. That's why I'm a little disappointed they didn't go out and get a right shot D-man. Like, why didn't you go see if you could get Justin Braun for a 5th-round pick or do something like that?
We had $100 left.
Radical Gudis.
Yeah, but you could get him and send down Vin.
Leave Florida. They were never going to get rid of him.
There's always a way.
A guy like Braun, you could have picked up and sent down someone like a Broberg or a Vinny.
I don't know. I think you want those guys playing.
Yeah, I think you do too to some extent. I don't know. I just feel like they're a little thin on the right side. Like if one righty gets hurt, Jason Demers is next up. Or you're flipping someone over to their offside, and those are your 6 D-men. Like it's just, I don't know. I feel like they're missing just a little bit of a layer of depth, and I don't love getting to a point where you're just forcing someone to their offside. I don't know.
What about Nurse and Vinny together?
I'd be out on that. Chalm out.
I'm also Chalm out.
Okay. All right.
Anybody Chalm
I just think I think I want to play Vinny maybe with someone more reliable. Like I don't even love the idea of him getting a bunch of ice time with Broberg. I want him playing with probably Kulak.
Yeah.
Because Kulak I think is steadier, more predictable. There you go.
He was just fine last night.
He was fine with Kulak.
He was really good last night.
Yeah, with Kulak.
A lot of minutes.
Yeah. But I thought, Vinny, I have no complaints about Vinny. I want him with someone that's
So it's about his partner, not about the minutes.
I think it's
I guess. Because, if you play him with Nurse, all of a sudden, Vinny's playing, north of 20? And I don't think Vinny can handle north of 20 at this point.
I think he played about 15 last night.
Yeah.
What do the numbers say?
Let me check. I'll pull that up for you, Liam.
Thank you.
What about I'm curious about the goals, chances for and against, though. I never know how to find these.
With guys on the ice?
Vincent Desharnais played.
14 minutes and 29 seconds.
16 minutes and 10 seconds. More than you expected. Most minutes last night was actually Cody Ceci.
And with Vinny on the ice last night, at 5-on-5, the shots were 8-6 for the Oilers. Shot attempts were 17-11, and there were no goals scored.
Interesting.
It's not bad. Just looking at maybe who Vinny played the most with. It was Kulak. He played 13 minutes, 24 seconds with him. And when they were on the ice together, shot attempts 17-9, shots 8-5, both in favor of the Oilers. So that pairing was really solid. I just think I liked the way they rolled it out yesterday. The only pairing that I think anyone really had any sort of a beef with was Nurse and Ceci. And I would say those two guys don't need a new partner. They just need to play better. And it's okay, I think, to say that sometimes. Everyone always thinks these two guys are struggling. You got to do something different. But I also think we can sit there and just say, well, how about Nurse and Ceci just bring up their level a little bit, which we know they're incredibly capable of.
I also don't think they were that bad, though.
There was just a couple of plays where Ceci, for me, sometimes just switches it off for a second, and it just makes a bit of a bonehead play that puts him in a bad spot. Like, there was the Ottawa one, the Toronto one with the offside one, where he thought it was offside, but it wasn't. It's like, okay, you got to play to the whistle, man. And then there was one play last night, too, and the others were kind of cycling it. And he just blasted it right into the guy that was right in front of him, and it ended on a 3-on-2 odd man break. And
he also had that one.
Such a bonehead play.
He also had that one near the side of the net where he just kind of bobbled it, and it just went to Skinner, and then luckily Stu was on the ball and just jumped on it.
He's playing very strangely. I felt like all last season I forgot he was on the team because he wasn't doing anything wrong.
Yeah, he was just quietly solid.
Yeah, now all of a sudden, maybe the last 10 games or so, maybe a little bit less, it's just you're noticing him so much because he's making so many mistakes. Or maybe I'm just dialing it.
I think that's what I think a lot of this is, or maybe half of it, or 60-40, whatever that number is. But I think people are out there looking for the mistakes now too.
Maybe, but I think
not to say he's not making them, but they're out there looking for him. And that's what they've been doing with Nurse ever since he signed that contract.
Do you know Nurse has the best plus minus on the team? Plus 19, I think we said, Tyler, right?
Someone's going to say it because he has played with Connor or something like that.
Well, Connor McDavid, as we learned on Twitter, is 101st in the league in plus minus, and that means he can't win the Hart Trophy.
Do you remember earlier in the year when it was Pavel Zacha has more 5-on-5 points than Connor McDavid, and then the argument quickly disappeared. Now it's okay. What else we got? Plus minus.
The stat that everyone says is overrated.
Yeah,
so someone actually using that stat to say Connor is not.
Some guy,
some Leafs fan, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was some Leafs fan who was saying that.
The tweet got traction, so that's how I saw it today, and I was just like, "What in tarnation?"
What in tarnation?
So you look at it, and you're like,
terrible.
All right,
but again, everyone always likes to discount power play points because the Oilers are getting them, and they want to poke holes in why the Oilers are having success.
Also, that turd didn't mention the fact that because I looked it up, Austin Matthews was 69th in plus minus last year when he won the Hart Trophy. So,
interesting.
Whoopsie daisies. Old bag milk uses the Google machine.
Funny how that works.
I took everything out of it. Just looked at how many goals players have been on the ice for this year. Connor McDavid, predictably, unsurprisingly, has been on the ice for the most goals in the NHL this season at 149. Leon Draisaitl.
Is that for and against?
Just 4. He's been on the ice for 149 goals for.
Yeah.
Leon Draisaitl is second in the NHL at 140. Third in the NHL, Zach Hyman, 138. Fourth in the NHL,
Huge.
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, 131. They are 1, 2, 3, 4 in terms of how many goals they've been on the ice for. And the high mark for goals against there is Draisaitl at 84. The other 3 are all in the 70s. So if you include power play, penalty kill, 6-on-5, 5-on-6, 4-on-4, all that stuff, they're all incredible plus players. So
I love when people discount power play points as if they don't count on the scoreboard.
Yeah, it's if a team wins with power play goals, the league goes, whoa.
Cancel that one.
1 point each.
1 point win.
Yeah, you don't get 2 for that.
Mm-hmm.
How many goals did you say Connor had been on the ice for?
149, which is crazy that he's been involved.
And the Oilers have scored 251 all year.
That's all they've scored this year?
That's
He's
what
still in first place.
that's
Yeah,
what
that's-
Espen
Oh, yeah.
says.
That's a lot, baby.
Yeah, you're right. I know
Come
it's
on,
a
we
lot.
moving.
Yeah.
It's a
It
lot
is the
for
most
today.
goals.
It's funny to think
Yeah,
the
yeah,
80s
yeah.
Oilers broke 405 times or something like that.
Yeah, which is crazy.
51. Yeah, that's
like
crazy.
also the goalies were dog shit. Let's be honest.
Yeah, they were.
Like you put Connor, you drop him right back in
I
1984,
like to reverse it and just say today they're more technical. They're more
and they're huge.
like these guys are put together. They could.
There ain't
play
no
their-
Darren
they can play
Pangs
their,
in the
they,
NHL
can,
right
they
now.
can play their game fucking blindfolded. There are Darren Pangs. They just don't look like Darren Pangs.
But like Darren Pang was like the size of the crossbar.
Look at
He's just a wee
look at
lad.
goalie Bob when he gets out of his gear.
Oh, Bob, yeah. Well, that is funny too. How scrawny a lot of these goalies
Yeah,
are.
It's like Vasilevsky. Looks absolutely ginormous in all his gear.
yeah.
And I guess he's still big.
Well,
but
that's
he's not, like,
and I know we're
that
gonna
big.
talk about Jack Campbell here, but like that's what frustrates me too. Like, bro, level up the fucking shoulder pads,
Yeah.
man. Like, let's Garth Snow that shit. Come on.
Garth Snow's pads, they went like an inch or two below the fucking crossbar.
Like he looked like he was a lacrosse goalie. Anyway, I want to hear from you. How happy are you with the new guys? Only 2. It's not that hard to put it together. Mattias Ekholm, big fan, huge fan. Nick Bjugstad, you're doing good things. I don't mind him at all, not one bit. Do I miss Michael Kesselring, Liam? No, because I didn't know he existed.
That was funny.
How did he do in his first game? Anybody look?
Yeah,
did.
They lost 5-1. He didn't allow a goal against.
They lost 5-2,
thing he
and
wasn't
he got
goalie.
a hit. You
Got a
didn't
hit.
give him credit for that hit,
Hey,
Liam.
I think
Jeez.
it's good. I literally
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
care that they moved him.
His
but at
plus
least
minus
the
was
kid
0,
is, like,
just
now
so you know.
playing again.
That's fine.
So he's a Hall of Famer.
Plays at first NHL game.
Yeah,
Good
you know
for him.
what? For him, the
NHL
prospect-
paychecks.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. And for him, chances are he wasn't going to play with the Oilers anytime soon.
No, he would look at the right side. Vincent Deane is ahead of him. Bouchard, both of those guys are.
Actually, he might have been the next call up.
Yeah, maybe would have at this point. But then CC, so those 3 are locked in.
But now he's number 1
He's
right-hand
next season.
defenseman in Arizona.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, he's never scored like this. I think he has 13, 14 goals in the American League. I don't think he's scored more than 10 goals since junior.
I want to know what
24. Like, it's been a while.
I want to know what the listeners think of Cam Dineen.
Yeah, I'd actually be curious if anyone has.
Has he
seen
played
it,
yet?
True.
To be
I don't know.
honest.
I'm not sure.
The Condors?
Yeah.
That's a more important transaction for me.
And let's not act like Camden he's some 30-year-old guy they just threw a contract in. This is a guy who has 35 points in 50 games in the American League this year. And he's 24 and
Yeah,
he
he's
played
24.
35 games in the NHL last season.
He has played so far 2 games with the Condors. Just a
Who's
clean
his
sheet. of
father?
course.
Mr.
Yeah.
Denis.
Is it
No.
Kevin?
No,
No,
his-
I don't think
no
they're
relation
related.
to the
no
Denise?
relation. His
How
brother
many
brother
points did he
played
have,
it
Bag Milk?
hockey, but no,
0.
it's not the same
Just
one I
clean
thought.
sheet.
No
Cross.
relation to the 80s guys?
No,
Oh.
no. I thought. I
Where's he
hoped.
Where's he from?
He is from
He's an
Canadian, I think, isn't he?
Tom's River, New Jersey.
Close.
I mean, like,
We have rivers too.
relative to the border, I suppose.
If you were thinking Ontario, yeah.
He played in the Ontario League, though. That's why I was curious. Good guy, probably.
He played for the North Bay Battalion, to be specific,
When
and
Matt
the Sarnia Sting.
Great connections to the Oilers with both those. Petrov plays with North Bay. Isn't Sarnia where
That was where Neil Yakupov played.
Yeah, good guy.
Ironically, he skated like he was being chased by bees. So saith Ray Ferrara.
That's an all-time line, man. Like, what a piece of analysis. It's so good.
I miss Ray on the broadcast. Man, I loved Ray on the broadcast.
The World Juniors wasn't the same without him this year.
I thought Mike Johnson-
I was going to say, but Johnston, is it Johnston or
Yep,
Johnson?
Johnston.
Did a great job too. I do
He's
like
really
him.
He's good.
now.
He's
He's
solid.
one of my
Yeah.
favorites.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, I
solid.
like him.
I like him too, just like I like the activities that you can do when you're in Jasper, Liam.
Like what?
Summer's just around the corner. Golf course opens on May 31st. Tyler's golf there.
A bunch of times.
Yeah.
Lakes
lot
are
of fun.
thawing. You can do a little canoeing, maybe some rafting.
Links with an I or a Y?
No, we are not talking about the cats.
Okay.
The cats are always open, as far as I know.
Shout out to Hunter.
Although he did have his number taken away.
I think it'd be really funny if for the rest of the season, Hunter the Lynx just wore a Bjugstad jersey.
That would
And they
be
did like a
great.
little ceremony.
That
And
would
we-
be fantastic.
Have some fun with it.
We'd always look back at it. It'd be like highlights of the Oilers playoff run. There'd be like a clip of Hunter doing something wacky. He'd be wearing a Bjugstad jersey.
I'd love that. But like, it would also be great if he just like in whatever the human cat equivalent of penmanship is, he made his own. Like when people do that, he covered up his own name and made a Bjugstad
Oh, that'd
jersey.
be good.
I'd like that. Anyway, back to Jasper.
Cat penmanship.
Spring skiing, right? Maybe just skiing in a hoodie is legit. Done it. It's wonderful. There's plenty of patios. The escape card is still available for half-price lift tickets. Come on. Go to jasper.travel. If you're wondering where Tyler's gone for the next couple of minutes, Tyler has got tiny tanks.
He got up to kick Liam.
And he just kicked me.
Tiny Tanks had to leave because he says he couldn't hold it for an hour. He texted me. So we'll time Tyler. So as he leaves right now, our podcast timer is at 24:50. Dan, mark that down.
Done.
I'm about to piss myself, so I may step away. I won't make it the full hour. R.I.P.
And on his way out, he kicked me. That's how desperately he needed to go.
He's going to
Has
love that
anybody
you
been
read
watching
that
this
message.
curling match, or is it just me?
I think it's
can't
just
see it
you.
from here.
Just
Nobody
you.
else can see it.
Canada is...
Who is that? Who's
that-
at the bottom?
That is...
Isn't that the Alberta flag?
That's Alberta. That's Botch's team, who's from
a wild
Sherwood
card.
Park. Yeah, they are up
Welcome to
5-2
the-
over Canada
Welcome
right
to the
now.
nightmare that is the Briar
DeLong
now.
coming in with a shot. Hits the red. Here's another. Oh, not that great. Yeah, that's not far enough.
Liam is enjoying the Briar.
I love the
Hits
Briar.
the red one, hits another, and not that great. Got
Quite
it.
frankly, we're going to have to come up with a segment where you just do some announcing.
Announcing
Yeah.
for the Briar.
Any sport.
Or any sport. But
Sure.
Like
I
I'm
would like
watching.
to, I would like to point out though, Liam
Yeah.
from England is watching the Briar right now
Loves it too.
instead of Champions League on today.
I don't even know what the scores are.
that's how
Loves it
into
too.
the
But I
curling
can tell
is.
you every score in the Briar.
I don't think he's going to be allowed to go home again.
What, outside of hockey, what sport do you love the announcing in? Because the reason I was thinking about that is F1 just kicked off last weekend. The announcers on F1 are electric.
They are the best. Do you know what? Rugby has some good ones. I watch rugby ones outside of hockey. I like the NBA ones. I can't remember his name, but it's the guy who does the Canada ones, and he's like from Noosa Raptor.
Oh, Routens?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and
Leo
then
Routens?
they get
No,
the
that's
other
not
guy.
Leo.
No, it's not.
It's,
No, not Leo Round. I can't remember his
he'll know.
name.
When Tyler gets back.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
yes.
Is it Rod Black?
It's Jack.
Nope.
No, it's Jack
No.
Armstrong. Is his side
It's like the play-by-play
partner.
guy. It's the guy who's it's the
Oh,
play-by-play
play
guy.
for the Raptors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the Jack Armstrong's the guy.
Mattias,
He's like, get the garbage out of here. It's the best.
Okay.
It's just so Canadian.
Matt Devlin?
Yes, Matt Devlin.
Wow.
Matt Devlin.
No Google machine, by the way.
Yep.
Rick
Hands
beat the
free.
Googles.
Yep.
So Googles, they do nothing.
Because we've had, is this correct? List of Toronto Raptors broadcasters. Sherman Hamilton,
Yeah.
Matt Devlin.
Yep.
Oh, okay, so this was just
It's
different
Devlin.
channels. I see. Matt Devlin is who you're looking for. Leo Routens, Jack Armstrong, Chuck Swirsky,
I said
Paul
everybody
Romanuk,
knows Chuck
Rod.
Swirsky.
So Rod Black, I was correct that he did do it at one point. It was just a long time
That's a
ago.
while ago, I bet.
I pay attention to the Raptors all the time.
That's going to be back in
Massive
like Vince
Raptors
Carter
fan.
days, I bet.
How about the guy that got kicked out of the Raptors game yesterday?
What did he do?
Nothing.
Was it Drake?
It was
Scotty
Barnes.
allegedly.
Last
Scotty
one of the
Barnes.
players.
Barnes.
One of the players.
Scott Foster kicked him out. Now, if you know anything about basketball, you'll know Scott Foster is the biggest joke of an official ever. That guy throws. This is a tied basketball game, 114 each with like 20 something seconds left, and he kicked him out because he didn't agree with a call. It's like, what the hell? These teams are like fighting for playoff spots, and
Are
Is
you doing
Scott
balls and
Foster
strikes?
he's the guy who was
he's the
part
goalie
of,
for the Blackhawks, no?
Yes, that was him.
Right.
But also, the NBA has had that problem with officials betting on games.
That was just Tim Donaghy.
But Scott Foster was also like kind of
He was
part
on
of
his
it a little
crew.
bit too.
He was in his crew.
Yeah, so
something.
it's like,
Is that the guy
Allegedly.
that they made that?
the,
what's it called?
Untold
The one that has
American
made
Stories.
so many documentaries about himself.
Yeah.
He's done podcasts. He's done
Just
video.
about how he loves to gamble.
Anybody that wants to talk to him, he will tell them the story.
Are we sure Tyler just went for a tinkle? It's been a while.
Well,
2450, what are we at?
yeah, 24.50. We are now at
26.
28.50.
Holy shit, 4 minutes.
Wow.
Must have been a lineup.
He's taking a leisurely stroll up and down the stairs, too. Must be waiting for the elevator.
It must be.
Not me.
You still in the stair club?
I have not taken the elevator since Vegas.
I'm proud of you, man.
I even did it at Rogers' place.
I'm proud of you.
That was big. Thank you. Thank you.
There's your plug for Tourism Jasper.
You can do all of that.
Go to jasper.travel. So when we clip that for you, Tourism Jasper, they're like, where's the plug start and end? Well, here's a 6-minute file for you.
Matt
Enjoy.
Devlin will be there.
Yep.
With pinball.
Taking the stairs.
And they will not take the elevator.
Never.
Is there
Never.
an elevator in Jasper?
I would hope that there's at least one.
Maybe in the Earls.
Yes, probably.
I don't think
The
so.
hotel.
I can't think of one.
They
I
have
don't think so.
Don't they have one of those giant outdoor ones called the gondolas?
I
an
would-
elevator of sorts.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I hope
Ski lift.
God,
That doesn't really
what am I
count,
going to
'cause you
do
can't
when I
take the
come
stairs
across
there.
that?
Yeah, I mean, like, there's no stair option. you know?
Here he is.
So we have
Kick him
got
back.
a
5 minutes.
Kick him
5
back.
minutes.
Kick him back.
You really had to
Kick him
go
back.
5 minutes. That was
5 minutes. My guy is a camel.
I had to go all the way downstairs.
2 flights of stairs. And
Just-
Well,
Feel
we
better?
didn't speak about the Oilers once, was we?
you've
What do you
spoken.
guys talk about?
what
Matt
sport
Devlin.
outside of hockey has the best announcers?
Darts.
There is something
Totally darts.
There is something very unique about a baseball home run call.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which, like, nothing.
What?
Okay.
Who's your guy? Joe Buck?
I mean, the Buck Martinez get up ball, that's great. Dan Shulman's good. Like, I like the Jays guys because I'm a Jays fan.
Just kept thinking about the Cincinnati Reds announcer when the
And there's a
home
deep
run-
drive in the left
There's
field.
deep drives in the next field.
I don't know if I'll ever put this headset on again. That is good.
One commentator I forgot about, Peter Jury. He is like the biggest soccer commentator. He is fantastic. He just
It's a
says-
skill, man.
It is just
the home run though. You gotta go to
crazy.
Boomer.
Yeah, back.
Back.
My favorite all-time announcer is Don Whitman because he could just do anything. He was a Canadian broadcaster. He just did like Olympics, curling, golf, everything.
Donovan Bailey.
Yeah, Donovan Bailey running. Yeah,
Oh, Vic
Michael
Router,
Johnson?
give me a little make
yeah.
the final.
that's good. Yeah, that's good times. Curling announcing has to be entertaining. Has to be.
I would
Or else
argue
people
they're
would fall
biased.
asleep. They're biased.
Oh yeah,
Oh, of course they are.
towards Alberta.
Well, that's because we're the
We
best.
are the best.
We set the gold standard for a long time in curling.
You go listen.
Speaking of announcers,
Doesn't
I know
bother
we
me
talked
as an
about him
Albertan.
when he hit his 1,000th game or whatever it was, but Jack Michaels is just so good this season. Not that he's not always good, but like he's been so good that I've been getting texts from people that at different nation sites being like watching the Oilers game right now. Jack Michaels rules.
Yeah.
He
Can't
does.
wait to hear him call a cup.
Oh fuck, we're all gonna die probably. That last down the stretch we come like
Oh, can you even imagine, like, the Oilers up 3-2 in the Stanley Cup clinching game? What Jack's final minute is like?
Oh, it gives me goosebumps just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Screaming.
Because I can think of like Rod Phillips and some of his calls, like for like the as they're about to win the cup.
yep.
But did he get as
Yep, he did.
animated as you think
yeah.
Jack would?
I feel like Rod was like more, he was more aware of them. And I'm not saying that Jack isn't, but it just felt like Rod was like always like aware that his thing was going to be a sound clip that people were going to hear forever. Jack is like so emotional and just so guttural. And like, it just feels like a fan.
He is in the moment.
Yep.
He lives the moment.
Jack rules. I love the way he calls games.
I feel like
Lucky to
Jack
have him.
wouldn't have a plan for that.
Can I
last
tell you
minute.
my fear? We're gonna lose him to like an American national broadcast.
We haven't lost him yet, so that's starting to go away. That fear.
I think
just-
they just got to get him on Hockey Night in Canada sooner rather than later.
I just feel like we're gonna lose him to a national broadcast. He's too good.
I could see,
Yeah, I think we will too.
I could see him going to the late night Hockey Night in Canada game.
Being like, then we'd still get him a lot then.
Yep.
I don't know, or maybe he likes being the guy for a team. Some people do prefer that.
We should get him on here.
And
Ask
his
him.
bromance with Louis is electric, you know?
Yep.
Fantastic.
It's electric.
They love
the
it.
ranch.
Back to the Oilers. Tyler, what are we gonna do with Jack Campbell?
So what sounds more appealing?
Let me tell you a little stat here
Yeah.
before you get to what you're saying here, the question you want to ask for the boys. Since 2007, no Oilers goaltender that has played more than 10 games has a lower save percentage than Jack Campbell. That includes every single
crazy.
goaltender that played for the Oilers during the decade of darkness.
Do we have a list of those goalies?
No, we don't want to do that.
It is a very long list, and nope, you don't want to do that.
Oh, that'd be. I always like a little trip down memory lane.
4
So-
more years at 5 mil,
So that-
or 8 more years at numbers that vary between 1.1 and 2.6.
No, Tyler.
Stop it.
No, it's
I'm
not
kidding.
happening.
I'm kidding.
No, it's actually a fucking thing though.
It is
I
a
know.
People
thing.
are
Like,
talking about trying to buy him out. Like, are you guys kidding me?
it's not going to happen. He's not going to get bought out. He's not going to get traded. So
I think if this is still a problem at this point next season,
Then you're talking.
we're having
you
the
talk about it.
conversation.
Sure, of course.
But I think if you're willing to commit $25 million to a guy, then you give him a second year. And I get it, it's unpopular, and my take might be different if Stuart Skinner wasn't doing what Stuart Skinner's currently doing.
Yeah.
Because 7.6 on an all-star goalie and a below-average backup still isn't that bad of a number to
It's
commit
not
to
the worst.
goaltending.
Look at Markstrom.
I think next season will be a different story.
I wondered. Sorry, go ahead.
And I think an interesting situation to look at is the LA Kings because they are Cal Peterson, right? And he was around the same money, wasn't he?
Yep.
They just sent him down, and then they brought up Phoenix Copley.
Yeah.
I think there's a very good chance the Oilers go out this summer and try and get the best third goaltender available on the market for whatever it may be, and just put him in Bakersfield. Then if it gets to the point and you're sitting around December 1, maybe late December or something, you're like, Jack, this is not working out at all. We're going to send you down to Bakersfield because we need to get some wins here, and we're going to call up whoever the guy is. Yeah. I feel like that's the more likely scenario than the Oilers trying to move him this summer, because I just don't think that's going to happen, because frankly, who would want him?
Markstrom struggled in his first year.
Not as
And
bad.
secondly, they're not going to buy him out.
Bounce back, and then he's a bad year again. But
Yeah.
He has also it's worth noting, he has a modified no trade clause. Player can submit a 10-team no trade list.
But if things are really bad, the player would want out probably, right? Like if next year goes this bad for Campbell, that no trade list probably evaporates like that.
I wonder how much of this is just, he's just in his own head about how much money he makes.
I think
and
it's
the
so
expectations are so high of what he was supposed to do in year one that it's compounding.
I think I was listening, I had Mike McKenna on Owen every day. He gave us some great insight. Then I listened, Kevin Woodley, who is a goaltending genius, was on with Gregor, and he said he doesn't believe Jack Campbell is seeing a sports psychologist right now. And I kind of sat there and I was like, that probably seems like a good idea, because I really do think it's between the ears. And Woodley made a really good point. Did you guys notice Jack Campbell doing anything differently from when he struggles versus that month when he was good? He looked like the exact same goalie. There was no actual change.
Well, he said there was a little bit.
Well, there was the pad change.
Yeah, but he said he's a little bit smaller here, and like there's
He
a
leans
little bit, but
Yeah.
nothing like really big. Nothing you're like, hey, you got to change this, that, or that.
So what does that tell you? It's just a difference of having a clear mindset and stopping pucks. Like, it's not like he made some technical change that allowed him to boom, found his game. It was, he just played better. He got confident and the ball started rolling, and then bang, a bad game, and he was right back to where he went.
Yeah, it's like he can't, if he has a bad game or even a bad goal, he just can't shake it. Where Stu, first of all, he doesn't really let in that many bad goals.
Nope.
If any. But he seems to go right back, just being like, fuck, okay, back in the mix. Because last night against Buffalo, especially in the first period and a little bit in the second, like, man, he made some just grade A stops from in tight.
Yeah, and I thought he had to battle yesterday too. There was a few moments in the first period where like he was sliding too far out. There was the one chance where Skinner missed the wide open net because, Jeff missed the wide open net because Stuart got like tangled up and didn't really know how to turn.
Was it Thompson who missed that? There was two wide open nets they missed.
Like Skinner didn't even have his best stuff last night, and just, you're right, after a rough first period, he just, like positionally, I thought a rough first period, he just dialed it in for the final 40 and was outstanding.
That third period is great.
So the Oilers have, what did you say it was, Tyler? 17 games left?
Yeah.
How many games realistically can Stuart Skinner play between now and the playoffs?
12?
Can you play 12?
Sure.
I thought Jonathan Willis laid it out really, really well the other day. I retweeted it. So let me go pull up what our friend Jonathan Willis had to say.
Because for the rest of March here, we got the Bruins and the Leafs to finish off this week. I would imagine, given the spacing between the games, that Skinner starts both.
There's only 2 back-to-backs left.
So there's 2 starts.
So there's 2 starts for Campbell.
Yeah.
So Willis said you go Buffalo, Boston, Skinner, which it looks like they will. He gave Campbell the Toronto game, which I think you could at that point. End of a road trip. Don't want to overplay Stu that much. That's fine. But the point, I think, is you're only really playing Campbell when Skinner needs rest. It's no longer really about getting Campbell going.
Because the way I go back to Skinner in Toronto, like, I get the story and all that, but like, one, I'm going to be there and I want to see a win. 2, they don't play for 2 days afterward until they come home and play Ottawa on the 14th, which is a Tuesday. He's going to have a little rest. Stu, that is. Play Skinner. You want to win. Maybe. Also, as you're looking things up right now, I feel the need that I'm going to take right now to apologize to Mike Smith. For as bad as you were, sir, at moments.
And probably Mikko.
And Mikko. There was never a stretch quite like this. And in all of your seasons with the Edmonton Oilers, you finished above 900 with a save percentage.
What?
The lowest was 902. That was his very first year here. And then it was a 923 and a 915. So Mike Smith, I apologize, pal. Mikko, you too. It hurts sometimes to admit you're wrong, but today I'm doing that.
Yeah.
I kind of miss him. I miss the roller coaster.
At least there were some ups on the roller coaster.
I missed the roller coaster.
A couple of loop-de-doos and away you go, you know? Anyway, Tyler, back to you.
Willis said Skinner against Buffalo, Boston. Toronto, you give Campbell. Then you go 7 straight for Skinner. And then there's the Vegas, Arizona back-to-back. You give one of those to Campbell. 3 straight for Skinner. And then Anaheim back-to-back, you go Campbell. So there's 3 starts for Campbell. And then in the last 3 games of the year, you base it off how badly you need the points and how you want to rest Stu. Rick left. Are we all going to yell about and time his piss?
It was 4:15 is when he left.
I was trying to be
got a leaky
professional
nose.
and ignore.
As he was 30 seconds.
I got a glimpse of him blowing his nose. I wish I didn't look.
Yeah.
Hope he's okay.
I can hear it.
Well, 'tis the season, you know? The temperature swings.
This podcast.
Here's my
has been-
question. Yeah, we're all over the place. I have a question for the group, though.
Please.
Which goaltending tandem would you rather have? Last year's or this year's?
That's an interesting, turned into an interesting question.
Half
I'm
and
still
half.
going this year.
I would take. I don't know what I would do.
I think Skinner
Best goalie is the.
Skinner's the best goaltender. That's the one you have to go with.
Yeah, Skinner has the highest floor, even if maybe his ceiling isn't Mike Smith level, but his floor is higher than Smith's was. Yeah, less chance. Knock on wood, I don't think anyone's scoring from the other end of the ice in the playoffs this year on Stu.
Well, now they definitely are.
All right, I'll write down our answers. Will someone score from the other end of the ice on Stuart Skinner in the playoffs?
That's how
Everybody's let those in.
that's how the goalie goal with a goalie in goes, right? That's how it happens. It's same thing as Rasmus Anderson. Has to happen. It's coming.
I don't know what I would do. Because I think about it and like, yeah, Skinner is probably the best out of the 4 right now. But I guess I'm basing it off like what the playoffs, that's when I would take him. Mike Smith was so good. He had 2 shutouts in the postseason.
Yep.
I know he allowed that one against Calgary, but it's like, he was...
And that
besides
sick moment where he came back in the game and came down the tunnel.
Exactly. That was
There is
electric.
when he was at his best, like at the very top of his game, Mike Smith was fantastic.
Yeah.
He really was. And he was angry, and I like it.
He was
But Stu
constantly
is
pissed
Stu's
off.
very likable too, though.
Love
They're
Stu.
very opposite personalities.
Oh, yeah.
Stu's super casual. Like he is fucking chill. And he was doing an interview a couple days ago, and all I was thinking about is just like, I wonder if it's because you just got so many siblings. All you can do is be chill at some point. You know, there's like 9 kids in his family. What's he gonna do? Just chill.
Only so much screaming can do at that point.
So what would we do? Bag milk? What would you have?
Today's
the horn.
Yeah, I would still go today's because I think that Stuart Skinner's the goalie of the future.
But
like-
for one playoff run,
Yeah, give me Stu.
I trust
Staying
you.
with it.
you would all
I've
go
got no
Stu?
worries
I
with
tried
Stu.
to ride the Mikko Koskinen roller coaster pretty solidly. Like on this podcast, I was defending him pretty
I would say
staunchly.
arguably you were the Mikko
Yes.
Koskinen defender.
And I don't want to do that ever again. So I'm going with what we have here. I'm comfortable with Campbell's struggles because Stu is backing him up.
Interesting.
Skinner, currently as we're recording March 7th, 286 goals against average
How
with a
many games has he
913.
played?
He has played 37 appearances, 35 starts.
35 starts.
Yep.
52.
18, 13, and 4.
Campbell has 34, I think, right?
Campbell is 32 appearances, 30 starts.
So even if he took the rest, that'd be 52 starts.
It's not bad.
It's not terrible.
So
And
I
then
want to hear from you.
16.
How many starts is Stuart Skinner getting between now and the end of the season? ON Radio Podcast on Twitter and Instagram.
Maybe one other thing to consider, too, when you're looking at Campbell's kind of games right now, do the Oilers maybe even want to get Skinner prepared for playing so much in the playoffs? Like, if you want to run, you'd have to imagine Skinner is the
He's gonna
goalie
start every
single
game.
night.
Yeah.
So maybe they just start kind of getting him involved in that.
And he's also a kid, baby. He's 23, whatever he is. He's got all that
got those
energy.
legs.
He's got all that energy.
I think we overthink that a little bit sometimes.
Another thing I beg you to consider, Liam, if you're putting together a little vacation this summer,
I got a low one coming up.
check out our friends at AMA Travel. They help Tyler out.
Mm-hmm.
They will absolutely help you out on organizing your life when it comes to travel. We are going to Toronto on Friday, and the reason it's going to be so seamless is because of our friends at AMA Travel. Use them. Love them.
The nation vacations are great, and if you've been on one or if you've heard us talking about how great they are, you can just bring your own vacations to that level with AMA Travel. Raise them right up.
They will help you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler, you want to talk about some playoff math. And I would love to hear you talk about playoff math because we're getting to the point where we're almost at magic number territory, but not quite magic number territory. So walk us through this. Currently, as the internet will not load for me.
Yeah, the internet just...
The Oilers are tied with somebody with some amount of points.
I got it. Oilers are tied with the Kraken, but the Kraken have played 2 less games. The Oilers are 4 back of LA, same number of games played. 4 back of Vegas. Vegas has played 2 more games. So
2 less games.
Sorry, 2 less games. So getting to the point where it's probably almost getting hard for them to reach the top of the division just because Vegas...
Play Vegas, 2
more, yeah. So that'll be huge, the games in hand.
You win both of those, now you're tied.
Yeah. But let's say Vegas has, again, 19 games to go. Let's say Vegas just goes 10-9. Say Vegas averages out for the season.
I hate when we start doing math things.
Okay.
It just takes some of the fandom out of it.
Why? But then you know what you're rooting for.
But because you always just want to cheer for it. But you're like, okay, it's not really realistic, but being a fan isn't really being realistic. You know what I mean?
If they go 10-9, they're going to finish the year with 102 points. For the Oilers to get to 102 points, they would need to pick up 24 in their final 17. So the Oilers need to go at worst 12-5 to have a shot at the division.
That's doable, though. That's not crazy.
Yeah, but that would involve Vegas probably averaging out. But like Rick said, you play Vegas twice. So you could put a pretty good dent in their remaining schedule if you go take care of business. You play Seattle one more time as well. Nation birthday parties on that day at the Pint. Hello.
Go get your tickets, nationgear.ca. They are starting to move, people.
So like that's a big one. I think realistically, not my fan goal, but my realistic goal, finish 2nd or 3rd. And the dream would be you play Seattle.
Yeah, I don't care about playing anybody in our division.
I actually don't either. I fear no one.
I don't fear anyone, but I fear Seattle way less than I fear the other 2.
I slightly fear one team.
Who?
The LA Kings.
Why? Because of last year?
No, it's just Tyler mentioned it today on ON Every Day, and I was kind of thinking the same. Like, I think their goaltending is pretty, like, Cobb Salah's a good goalie. He's robbed us in 2 games already this season. I think just the way they play is kind of dangerous against the Oilers, and it's also like the Oilers haven't beat them this season, have they? We've lost both games against them.
Yeah,
we lost the penalty kill tonight, and then we lost the one where Edlund need.
So we're playing possum here.
I'm just saying, last year LA took you to 7 games, and last year they didn't have Arvidsson or Doughty, and then they went out and added Fiala. Now they've got Gavrikov. Now they've got a little bit better goaltending, although Quick was okay for them in that playoff series, or good for them in that playoff series. I'm just saying LA is a really, really good team, and they worry me a bit. I think Vegas, the Oilers, if Vegas wants to run and gun, Edmonton will just run them into the ground, and Seattle I just view as clearly the lesser of the bunch. So
the way we're playing right now, I think, is I don't know if there's any team that can stop them in the West.
But
that fourth line yesterday, that 4th line for the last 10 games or so.
That Derek Ryan goal. Dude, that 4th line put on a clinic.
Simplify. Get the puck deep. Forecheck. Cycle. Find your shot on net.
Because they were doing it with Yessi for a while, too.
Yep.
No, they started adding Clem Shady, and the recipe's
well,
still
and also
cooking.
We got Evander Kane coming back here right away, too. So that's going to be another upgrade in the lineup.
Yeah.
Who comes out?
Swap out Shore, put Kane on the top line.
Devin
McLeod
Square
plays on the
probably
4th
comes
line.
That 4th line is just working so well right now, right?
Back-to-back games.
McLeod, Cost, and Ryan sounds real nice, though.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
McLeod looked really good last night.
He did.
I think I'm taking Clem
But then they
Shady
put
out.
Fogel up on that top line.
Defensive for the 3rd period.
Fogel made that nice play on Connor's 2nd goal, I think.
Yep. No, yeah, the winner, yeah.
Yep.
You're right.
But that was a defensive move for the 3rd period.
We'll see what happens. Any word on when Kane's coming back? Because
I think Thursday. I think he's playing against Boston.
Cool. That'd be nice.
I think.
Need to get him up and running too. A little, get the hands back, feeling good.
Yeah, he's got to get going. He's been paused too many times.
Stop and go.
Yeah, a little bit of stop and go. But
Word association?
we're going to get there, Dan.
Oh, I'm so excited.
First, I got to talk about our friends at Betway. Last night, I was very upset
How?
because I had the puck line
That sucked.
and I just needed that empty net goal. That's all.
Offside.
Fucking offside.
Yep.
It was way offside.
Always offside.
Those were some really bad offside calls last night.
Like
Holy.
Kaylor Yamamoto, by the way, I admire the stretch, but he needed another 2-3 feet on that leg.
I called that one right off the bat, and I was
Where
like,
was
please don't
Sportsnet
score.
on
Please don't
this?
score. Please don't score.
I didn't see it.
Sportsnet did not show the
They-
replay till
yeah.
fucking
You could
3
see it.
minutes later.
You could see it super clear on the initial play, and then that was it.
See, and I missed it on the initial play. I was too fired up because Nuge, again, on fire, and got his 31st taken away from him. I still believe that the NHL should have credited for him anyway. He's
How
just a
long
nice guy.
after the offside did they score?
Long time. It was like they came in the zone, and it was like 40 seconds later.
There's got to almost have and also the thing that annoys me about that offside is so inconsequential to the
We
play.
can't say anything.
I understand, but it's still so inconsequential to the play.
I just don't know what the linesman was doing. That's his job, and that's like it was like right
When I
across.
saw the replay, I was
It
like, man, that was way offside.
Yamo was trying, but it was not there. The effort wasn't there.
I don't think you can add like a timer or anything. It's just
No.
gonna make it
No,
worse.
it is what it is.
It
No,
sucked.
it is.
We
a-
have won that a lot.
I want to complain.
I know.
Let me complain.
But if you had a timer, it's like, okay, so it's 10 seconds. Well, I mean, 11's not bad.
Yeah, no.
Right? Like you can just, it's like the Dwight and Jim bit from when Dwight stockpiled and is like, I have enough food to last 3 months. And Jim's like, 4 months? 6 months? 7 months? And then just going and go.
I say ban offside reviews unless it's Jerry McCouple that asked for one. What do you think about that?
Only
works.
for the Oilers.
I mean, you probably could get rid of these offside reviews, but now you've opened
No.
Pandora's box. So
No, I
You
like the
can't with
reviews.
the instant replay we have. We could all get rid of it.
I'd rather a goal is called back when it shouldn't have been allowed than it stand. I truly would.
But
I'd
the
rather
other thing
game
is
called
though,
right.
like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but before they brought this in, that goal Nuge scored would have counted, and no one would have said boo. No one would have said shit.
Yeah, that's
the
probably true.
broadcast probably wouldn't have gone back and shown you the zone entry. Like but now we've opened it up where,
Yep.
if you were to take it away next year, every goal that'd be scored, the broadcast would be like, look, shouldn't have counted. Twitter would be going nuts.
Well, and again, we must remind everyone the reason this rule is in place in the first place is because Matt Duchene was 15 feet offside at one point and still managed to get a legal goal somehow.
Remember when we went back and watched that goal? It's like more absurd.
It's so
the longer you watch
outrageous.
it.
Anyway, it is what it is. Tyler, for our friends at Betway, how did you do last night?
Not great. I needed the over to finish off a couple of parlays. If they would have gotten to 6 goals, I wouldn't have come into work today, but they didn't. So I'm
That
here.
shot prop though.
Yeah, they
Everybody
crushed
sees
the.
this.
I avoided the shot prop because I was like, man, that's high. Did not expect that.
They showed you in the first period.
Did they ever?
And then the second period happened, and I was like, oh my God, they're not going to get to 33 shots. Shit. And then they did it easily.
There you go. If you are of legal age, please bet responsibly with our friends at Betway. Let us know how you do. Let us know. A little dabble. You betting on Connor to get over 1.5 goals every night? Maybe. Wouldn't be the worst idea.
When you look at that Sabres lineup though, and you see that they hung with the Oilers, like good on them. What a like that team being in the playoff picture with the compilation of a team that they have right there.
Cage Thompson's so much fun to watch.
He's so big.
He's gigantic.
They got a fun team.
Like Thompson's exciting, but like after that, it's like Hinestroza,
But Dylan Cousins.
Cousins, yeah.
is
You know what
good.
else is exciting, Dan?
Word.
Word association with my friend
Word.
Tyler Remchuk.
Words. He's like, I don't have any answers.
I got 5.
Okay.
Whoa.
5. Do we have that much time?
I've got a heart out here. We gotta get going. Let's go.
All right,
Pressure.
Tyler, what's the
What's the
order?
order,
What's the
Tyler?
words?
Let's go Dan and then around. So Dan, BM, Liam, me, and we'll let Rick.
All right. We're at 5 words. First word.
I'm biting
Tyler
the bullet.
Remchuk.
Here we go.
All right. Mattias Ekholm's beard.
Epic.
Fantastic.
Viking.
Viking.
Aha.
Said it. Once.
Doable.
You're not a big fan.
No, I said doable.
Yeah,
I
because
could grow it.
look at that beard that he's got going on.
like
over
you,
there.
I could grow it.
you and Ekholm will be Viking beard
buddies.
twins.
When I first met Rick, he had a beard like that.
Oh,
Yeah, you did.
I could do it.
Dreisaitl's weekend run.
Unreal.
Magic.
Goalicious.
Precision.
Him.
He's him.
Precision was a
That's what he
great
does.
one. Like that shot, I've
To get
watched
the net
the
back
replay
on.
15 times.
Dude, putting the net on is cool. That shot is stupid and not getting anywhere
Dumb.
near the amount of fucking attention it should get.
And then
dumb.
the next game, he put in a backhand like that.
Yeah.
Like what?
Like, look at the space over the shoulder.
You're absolutely right. And then he did it again with a backhand. It's
Like, if-
insanity.
take your hat off.
He's special.
It's smaller than that hole. Like,
He had like a
grab that
credit
glove
card.
behind you. That might be like where you put your hand in.
It was like this light over here.
Dude,
That's
it was
all he had.
ridiculous.
I made a joke on the After Dark show that the Lego Banana Man and the Queen I have on my shelf are closer together than the Gap was.
Yeah.
Nice
Or further apart than the Gap, whatever.
Tyler's enjoying his props.
It's pretty tight.
Right there.
Kind
Wow.
of. That's basically what it was.
Wow.
This
Through the-
translates well on a podcast, but I'm putting a puck through the back hole in my snapback, everybody.
So if you've got a puck sitting around and a hat on your head, try it yourself at home.
And send us a picture.
Yeah, send
ON
us a
Radio
picture.
Podcast.
yeah.
Do it, and we'll call it doing the dry sidle.
Yeah.
The dry.
Do the dry.
Do the
Doing it dry.
All right. Third one.
Mm-hmm.
Warren Fogle as of late.
Understated.
Rebound.
Good.
Remarkable.
As sold.
I like that one. Derek Ryan's season.
Underrated.
Warlord. Short Derek Ryan you're talking about, of course.
Short Derek Ryan.
Home King.
He is the home ice king. Although he scored on the road last night.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say remarkably consistent.
Career record? Question mark?
Not quite.
Career best? Question
16 goals.
15 goal. Yeah, he needs 16. I lied. We actually have 6, so 2 more. Watching David Rittich get lit up.
Stick flip.
Yeah, I was going to say stick toss.
Awesome. I hate that guy.
Flippin' fun.
mark? Enjoyable.
He actually flipped his stick at the end of the game, too.
He tried to
And-
break it, but failed.
And then he sure did.
Yeah. Failed.
Smashed his
He tried to do
GBV.
that after they lost an OT, too.
Oh, yeah?
Against San Jose last night. He tried to break his stick over his
Yeah,
knee.
that
and
was-
it-
yeah, that's
oh,
what
yeah,
I
that's what
was
you're talking about. Yeah. All right. Last one. The chicken Big Mac at McDonald's. They don't pay for this.
Intriguing. They don't pay for this.
Nom nom.
Yeah, sounds nice.
I'll pass.
TBD.
What's it called?
Chicken
Big
Big
Mac.
Mac.
So it's essentially
Mac
a
with
Big
chicken.
Mac with chicken.
Yeah.
Interesting. What does there? What's
Big
the
Mac
sauce? Is there
Big Mac
mayonnaise on it?
sauce.
Just the Big Mac sauce, bro.
Take out the beef, put in chicken.
Liam thought they were going to put
harmless.
McChicken
The
sauce on
trade
it.
is 1 for 1.
Yeah.
So there's cheese on
For
it
two,
too.
but yeah.
Oh, that's a good question. Is there cheese on it?
Yeah, it's the standard.
Yeah.
God, that seems so big.
It's like a KFC
That's
double
what she
down.
said.
Well, it's not KFC chicken, right?
Yo.
At least it wasn't the Micom.
Yeah.
Because I moved it.
Bag Milk moved it objectively first by
And
throwing
then
it in my
and
direction.
Yeah, then I moved it again. All right, there you go. Good job on word association,
Great
everybody.
job, Tyler.
you,
6.
everybody.
6 words
words.
and a 5-minute pee. That's a big episode.
What I bring
What
to the show.
lasted longer? Words association or Tyler's P?
Oh, pee for sure. We want to give a shout out to our friends at Tourism Jasper, AMA Travel and Betway. And lastly, I just want to remind you, go get your tickets to the nation's 15th birthday party. We got prizes, we got giveaways, which are both prizes and giveaways. And we've got Tyler. And Dan. Dan's going to be slinging drinks, I believe.
I
right?
am. I got my license.
There you go. We'll see who else can pass this exam between now and the 18th. We shall see. I would like to see you there. Nationgear.ca. Help us raise some money for free play for kids. And just have a great time while we're at it. Good.
Come say hi to us again.
Good.
It's been a minute.
With that, we'll wrap up the episode of Oilers Nation Radio and bid you adieu. Have a great rest of the week, everybody. We'll talk to you on Friday. I won't,
Bye.
but they will.
I will.
I won't.
With
I
my
will.
gang. Dan, Rick, Coom, and Gavin. The Fab Five. Are we still recording?
Yeah.
Goodbye, everybody.